Hey friends, Diane here. We are talking about making good habits that will crowd out the bad ones in our lives. This starts though with admitting we have some bad habits, doesn't it? You see, we cannot begin a counter good habit until we own up to the bad ones we've allowed in our lives. Thus, the next behavior Mrs. Meyer talks about is the habit of being responsible. We live in a "it's not my fault" world. And it began in the Garden of Eden as Adam blamed God for the woman he gave her, and Eve blamed the old serpent who deceived her. I often wonder what would have happened had these first two humans just taken responsibility for their poor choices. I mean, they still sinned by being disobedient to God's one command, but would the curses that sin brought on be less destructive? Probably not, because this is the me, myself, and I nature. Pride causes us to refuse to admit that we are the ones with a problem that must be changed, and this denial only furthers problems instead of solving any of them. Mrs. Meyer often shares a humorous situation in her walk with God, where she was praying for her husband, Dave, to change so she could have more peace in her life. One day, God whispered in her heart, "Dave is not the problem." To which she quickly asked, "Well, then who is? It's just him and me here." LOL. But this is a great example of our oblivious nature when we live in the flesh with that me, myself, and I mentality. Surely it's not me that has to change, we say. Yet me is the only person we can change. And even for this, we need the help of the Holy Spirit. Change comes when we choose to take responsibility for our thoughts, words, and actions. She says, we all have things to face about ourselves, and it is a brave man or woman who is willing to do it. So as we begin or continue on this journey to create the good and godly habits that will improve our lives as well as those around us, let's choose to be brave, shall we? More tomorrow.